If you have any interest at all in film photography and have been on the internet within the past couple of years, you'll probably seen someone looking through their camera through a waist level finder. Waist level finders are truly such a unique way to take photos, and when you see through one for the first time, it's quite surreal. Yes, they look cool and definitely give you some street cred with other photographers, but are waist level finders worth the hype, or are they going to be a purchase that will gather dust? Let's find out. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be playing around with a waist level finder on my Mamiya 645 1000S. In this video, I'm going to be taking you along with me for a little photo walk around Mamiya Beach. It's one of the most beautiful beaches on the south coast of Australia here. My family and I went away just to get out of Canberra for a bit and kind of recharge those batteries, and I was able to get a bit of time and go and take some photos. Oh my god. What's up, YouTube? So, I hope you can hear me well. You should be able to. I am at North Mamiya Beach today. Got my Mamiya 645, testing out a brand new roll of film that I've never actually shot, and it's lived in my fridge for quite a while. But it is a Lomo 800. I haven't shot an 800 speed film in a very long time, so it'll be very refreshing. Current setup is the Mamiya 645 with my waist level finder. So I'm going to be using my phone as a meter, because when I'm shooting with a waist level finder, I actually can't meter off my camera. So let me set my meter to 800. And it looks like I'm probably going to be shooting at f16 for the majority of the shoots, because that is what my camera wants me to shoot at. And I actually think we're going to get a photo right here because it is quite beautiful. It is very confusing shooting with this though. My phone's at f16 at 1/1000th of a second. Let's go first shot. Three, two, one. Excellent. Excellent? Absolutely not. That was really bad. So I got my film back. Mind you, it's been like 20 days since I've worked on this video. Premiere Pro says last open 20 days. This roll of film is most definitely expired, and my film lab even labeled it as expired. So don't get your hopes up for the results of these photos, but there are two photos in this roll of film that I actually kind of really like. Expired film always is tricky to work with. So I'll just let the photos speak for themselves, and I'll highlight the ones that are my favorites. Anyway, back to the video. Now, I don't really have a big plan for what I'm gonna do, but I have about an hour's worth of light. So I might head down to the beach, try and get some photos of the waves close up, or even some sand. But yeah, we'll just play around and go from there. So let's go. Well, the little footpath that I was gonna shoot is closed. So I'm gonna take a photo of a rock over in the distance. I'll put you on the bin. And I'm gonna stand over here. Pretty much shooting at infinity. Look at that. The clouds are so fluffy and pink. What's going on? Let's get a photo of the cloud, hey? Now I might meter for the shadows here. And if I'm shooting at f16, it wants 1/125. 125th of a second. Bang, baby. I need a wider angle. It's alright. This photo kind of sucks. I'll get it anyway. Pretty awesome. I think with the remaining couple minutes of light, I'm gonna head over down to South Mollymook just to see what's going on. It looks like all the light's gonna be kind of setting down over that end. So I'm gonna head over there now. I come to Mollymook so often. I'm gonna go for a different route. I'm gonna try and walk away from the beach and have a look at some of the little hotels around the place, because there's a lot of interesting colors and shapes and very nice looking buildings to shoot, as well as the beach. So try and incorporate a bit of the beach, try and incorporate a bit of the like coastal houses around the place. There's a very cool scene here. I just kind of like the way the light's hitting the walls. I can actually shoot at f8 here. Oh, maybe I'll drop down to 5.6. Or even f4. No, I want to shoot at f8. 1/50th of a second f8. Yeah, there's a lot of different shapes here. It's really hard to focus through this waist level finder though. But I think I've got it. Okie doke. You can see a really nice composition over here. Shadows f160, 1/25th at f16. Three, two, one. You can see these two having a swim. It's very nice. I believe it was f16 at 1/500th of a second for this photo. And I'm hoping that I can capture these two having a good time in the water. There we go. Hopefully you can see her jumping over that wave. Alright, I might kind of stop and share a couple thoughts going through my head. A, this is kind of weird vlogging in public, but I'm trying to keep it low key. I really like that the fact that this Sony ZV-1F that I'm shooting on is so small and discreet. It's kind of easy to hide, per se. Not that there's anything to hide. Mollymook, one of my favorite beaches. I'm here all the time. It's kind of tricky to find new compositions because I've photographed it that many times, but sometimes the simple stuff is all you need to shoot for it to be nice to look at. And nice to look at is sometimes as simple as it needs to be. Shooting with 800 speed film is pretty cool. I'm able to shoot in like lighting conditions like this, which is very different to what I'm used to. Normally by now my camera would be shooting at like what, 1/60th of a second and slower, because I normally shoot 200 speed film. But the flexibility with shooting with 800 speed film lets me shoot at later times in the day, which is pretty nice as well. Shooting waist level, I still find it quite tricky. I'm trying to think of when I would actually find proper application for it. I like that it makes my camera a lot lighter, in that when it is folded, it is like this thin, which is really, really cool. And the fact that I can look down and see the world through my camera's lens like this, also very cool, but I don't really see when I would properly be using this. Let me know down in the comments if you shoot waist level finders religiously and whether you actually find it better than using an eye level metered finder like you would with any other SLR. Yeah, not much else to say. I might wrap up the rest of this roll of film. I've taken 11 photos so far. I don't know where, but I'm sure I can find some photos around the place. But yeah, I'll see you back home. We'll close up the video over there. All right, so a couple of things to talk about here. The pros I'm going to start with. First of all, let's talk about how awesome it is just to look through a waist level finder. Now, it's very hard to describe just how cool it is when you can't see it personally, but if you ever get to look through a waist level finder in real life, you'll kind of just experience a bit of that magic. It's just so surreal. Looking through the waist level finder, seeing what the mirror sees through the lens, just something about it just feels so awesome, and it really is quite inspiring to make you want to go out and shoot. The fact that this camera here doesn't have a single piece of digital technology in it, apart from if you attach a meter to it, of course, it just makes the idea of shooting film that much cooler. And for some people that matters a lot, like myself, because I really like shooting film. So yes, the experience with shooting a waist level finder is so cool, and it's a big plus for me. Another awesome thing about shooting with a waist level finder is just how much lighter it makes your kit. When it is folded down like this, the camera is literally just a big square box. It really is not as intrusive as if you were putting on a metered eye level finder. It keeps things a little more discreet this way. And yeah, a lightweight kit has enough merit in itself. I'm definitely leaning more towards lightweight kits these days, especially with kids around and me just needing to be ready to go with my hands more. Having a lightweight kit, that's definitely worth mentioning. Another added bonus for shooting with a waist level finder is that if you press this little tab on the top of this specific waist level finder, a magnifying glass appears. It like flips open and helps you see your focusing ring. The purpose of this magnifying glass is to help you achieve critical focus and should in theory help you get all of what you want to get in your image in focus. I used this a couple times on the photo walk and I found it quite useful, being able to just flip open this magnifying glass and achieve critical focus and make sure what I'm looking at is in fact in focus. And the last big thing, which is quite arbitrary, is the fact that you get quite a lot of street cred when you go around taking photos with a waist level finder. While I was on my photo walk, there were so many people looking at me, and 2 people actually asked what the heck I'm doing, and I was telling them that I'm taking pictures, and they had never ever seen a contraption like this before. Yeah, it was quite cool to be able to share the experience with others in public while I am taking pictures, which is really nice. Sharing a bit of love toward photography and film photography itself. So yes, you definitely get a bit of street cred when you are shooting with a waist level finder like this. Now with the pros come the cons, and there are a couple of things that are worth mentioning to help inform you in whether you should go and purchase a waist level finder. The first thing, and the biggest thing that I found to be quite a challenge, was that when I'm looking through my waist level finder, everything seems to be in reverse. So for example, when I'm looking through my waist level finder and I move my camera to the right, the image itself moves to the left. So that's quite confusing for when I am trying to compose an image. Now, I'm not sure whether this is something you get quite used to or not, but personally myself, I've only used this a couple times now. I never really caught on to figuring things out in reverse. I find myself having to do this bit of a shuffle to try and get the composition I like, which is fine, but it's worth mentioning that when you are looking through here, it can be quite confusing if you haven't shot with a waist level finder before. Another thing to mention is the fact that when you are shooting with this specific finder, there's no meter. So while I was out and about shooting,
I had to use my phone as a separate light meter. It's just one extra step to do, and it's quite easy. You just plug in all the details on your phone. I have a little video on light meters. I'll link it up here somewhere for you to watch as well. But yeah, there's no meter built in to a waist level finder, so just keep in mind that you will have to meter externally somehow. The next thing worth mentioning is the fact that while I was out shooting, not once did I take a vertical composition. Taking a vertical composition with a waist level finder is quite awkward. You'd have to, like, I don't know, twist it this way and you have to look at it that way. So it's quite strange to do a vertical composition. So I just never did it. It is definitely possible to do, but combining the weird aerobics that you'd have to do to get that vertical composition with the reversal of every movement in the camera while looking through a waist level finder, it's just not something that I tried to do, and I don't think I will. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Most of your photos are just going to be landscape. And the last thing that is definitely worth mentioning is they're kind of expensive. So when you look at waist level finders on specific camera bodies, a lot of the Mamiya systems will be able to do it. Some Nikon systems, so my F2 can actually take a waist level finder too. You will find on eBay that they are quite expensive. Most of them range from about $200, $230 plus. I got very lucky with this one. The fact that I got this as a bundle for $130 with a broken viewfinder and a broken lens. So I got very lucky, and that is why I have this one. But it's something to keep in mind. They're quite expensive to go out and just buy on impulse. So yeah, definitely worth mentioning price. But with that out of the way, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the waist level finders too. If you shoot with them religiously, let me know down in the comments how you find the experience and whether you've been able to get over some of these hurdles that I personally have found. I've really enjoyed shooting it, and sometimes a piece of gear is what you need to get out of creative ruts. And this is sort of what has helped me do that. So I haven't actually been taking as many photos as I used to, and using this really dragged me out and got the creative juices flowing once again. And sometimes a piece of gear does that, so that is totally fine. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you think of waist level finders. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Subscribe if you're new, leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.